Today we're going to take a look at the Wargames Factory Saxon Thegns. This is a complete box of 32 multi-part plastic warriors that comes with just about everything except for the types of bases that you would want to put your models on. Some of you might find that it's easier to use rectangular bases or the ever-popular 25mm round bases from Renedra, but either way they won't be included in this package, so for the $20 or $19.99 all that you're actually going to get are the warriors themselves and then a multitude of shield and weapon options to go with them. First, taking a look here at the box, you do have some very basic artwork, which is very typical of Wargames Factory. Fairly low budget when it comes to the overall design of the product packaging, but the contents there within are actually pretty high quality. The plastic itself is on par with other manufacturers, and then you've also got a lot of different options and kits that fit pretty well together. Zooming in here, I think what you end up seeing are a combination of the Wargames Factory plastic Viking boxes and the Saxon Thegns kind of attacking each other, trying to draw you in there to the battle. Now inside of this box you're going to find a bunch of these plastic sprues, and one thing that you'll notice about Wargames Factory that you won't notice about other manufacturers is that their sprues actually interlock, so that way they not only fit very neatly within the packaging itself, but don't make a lot of clutter there on your desk as you've got your sprues packaged up. You know, you can stack them pretty much as high as you want to, wrap rubber bands around them, and then the spacing in between there, as you see, basically ensures that nothing gets damaged or taken out of place during transit. Looking at the body sprue, you're going to get 8 of these, 8 times 4 is 32, and on here you have 4 different body poses with kind of a built-in basing at the bottom to help them either stand upright on their own or glue very easily onto the bases that you choose. I sometimes prefer this and sometimes prefer just the feet, but I do find that these glue on quite a bit nicer. And then in addition to that, on the sprue you've just got a whole multitude of different arm choices in which to glue on here. And that's all that's included there. You're going to receive 8 of these with plenty of arm choices. I can't recall exactly how many of these come in the box, but what you're going to see here is that you've got a multitude of different heads to go on there, both armored, completely bare, and then also wearing a soft cap. And then you've got different styles of shields, completely round shields, some that are kind of angled, and then I'm not sure what you call the teardrop shapes. You also have a Draco, which is kind of like the banner for the Saxons, quite a few spears or javelins, a few bows, quivers over here, and then you do have the equipment to give somebody a horn, quite a few short swords, and then this is one of the cooler things here. On each of these weapon sprues you've got the option to do a two-handed weapon, which is actually pretty hard to find for Saga and some of the other games, where you can do a two-handed axe, two-handed sword. I'm pretty sure the axe is the most popular choice there, but there's only one two-handed axe here on each of the weapon sprues, so you kind of have to be creative in how you're going to manage using those arms, but I can imagine that these double-handed arms would come in quite handy on some of the other Game Factory and other manufacturer models themselves. That way you can add these to your other warbands and get some of the more powerful weapon choices. Let's take a look here at some of the options of the assembled warriors. What I've chose to do is to assemble these warriors on the Renedra 25mm round flat bases. Seems like these are the exact kind of bases you're going to get with the official Gripping Beast Saga miniatures, so it's just kind of best to put these all together. Here you can see you've got, the only thing really odd with these is that the necks seem to be quite a bit longer than maybe they should be on some of these models, and it tends to make their heads stick out a bit further. That's just kind of something you want to pair up, maybe even trim down on some of the models. Here I've given that guy with the double-handed axe a very dynamic pose, and the rest of the guys, you've got some of the Hearthguard here in armor, since the Thanes are the armored ones. And then I think for what I'm going to do for the warriors using the same box is just use those soft cap people there, and then for the levy use the guys with the bare heads and give them options like bows just to make them different.